Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to the Road to Anywhere, my Journeyman series. This is episode 23 and as always, thanks for joining me. Make sure that you're smashing that like button, help support me and the channel. And if you really want to help support me, you can always pledge to my Patreon. You'll find a link to that and everything else down below in the description. Now, this is a midweek episode. There's only been a couple of these throughout the series. It's a Saturday night thing, once a week. But I've got time on my hands, so I've been playing it. And you'll see why I've been able to bring you this extra episode really this week, so hopefully you're going to be excited. Last time I left you, we'd just done 4 years at Steaua Bucharest, and I said I was going to leave, but I was questioning it. Some people in the comments even said they won't blame me for staying, especially the way it ended last year. But have I stayed, or have I hit the road? Let's find out. Well, of course, I've resigned. You've seen the flying map to the other side of the world, and if you know the world, if you're good at geography, you might know where I've gone. It's not hard. I'll pretty much give it away. But before we go and look at that club, I just wanted to show you something. So when I resigned, normally, when you've built the staff, a lot of them leave. What I was really happy with was only a couple left, 3 coaches left, and that's it. So I'm hoping the club that I kind of fell in love with, Steaua Bucharest, can stay on that path to greatness. Yes, if you know your Korean football and you saw the end of the last episode and you saw what jobs were available, you'll have seen that Pohang Steelers needed a manager. And I fancied this, but I also fancied Malaysia. I wanted to come out east. That was where I wanted to head if I could. But when I saw this job and I looked at it before I applied, something really appealed to me because it's something different than I've ever done, really. And we'll have a look at that in a second, but it is Pohang Steelers from South Korea, which is mega exciting. I've never managed in Korea, so it's all new league, new rules. So yeah, I couldn't wait to get stuck in. And I couldn't wait to get stuck in because they're halfway through their season, and look where Pohang are. They sacked their manager because they have a top team. They're not the best team in the country, but they have a top team. They won the title 3 years ago, right? And some teams in there you'll know, some big clubs in this country. It's a good footballing country, I think. I was surprised that the league is on the 6th though, out here in Asia. But it is what it is. I imagined it'd be a lot higher. Maybe I can help them while I'm here. But it was that appealed to me. Coming in halfway through a season, not knowing anything about the country, the rules, the football, and taking over a team that's just above relegation. A team that started out this season in the Champions League. They got knocked out in the group stage. They've already been knocked out of the FA Cup, the Korean FA Cup. And look where they are. This was just fresh. This just got me excited. I wanted to play it. But let's get back to the club and let's have a look at a few things. So they haven't got a nickname, which I'm guessing would be the Steelers. So that's what we're going to call them. Rivals, first rivals, Ulsan, historic. Other rivals, Suwon, Seongnam. I'm going to love these names, aren't I? It's the players' names. They all sound the same. They're all basically called Kim something. But anyway, yeah, good sized club, really. Really excited. Maybe I can get myself on the icons list or something cool before I leave. But yeah, the place itself, well, Pohang is a bit... I was looking for nice pictures of it. It looks a bit newish. Like, there's not a lot going on. It's not very picturesque. And I mean, I've lived in a beautiful part of Greece, Croatia, lovely city in Romania. We lived out in Argentina. Lived in a cracking place in Austria. I even had a couple of years at the beginning of my career in Scandinavia. But Pohang's a bit... it's not the best place, but it's a new culture. New language, new people, new way of living. Although they do eat dogs, don't they, in Korea? Because we used to have Park Ji-sung at Manchester United, and we used to sing a song at him when I used to go about eating dogs. In a loving way, but I love dogs. I've had rescue dogs, everything. I've got a dog now. She's sat there, she always is. Poppy! Pop! I love Baba. Yeah, so that's a bit weird. That's going to freak me out. But apart from that, yeah, we've got a great stadium, 17,500 seater, called the Steel Yard. I love that. This club was founded from a steel company, actually. From what I saw, anyway, what I read, they were a steel company, and then they've just kind of evolved over the years. And the stadium's decent. Got a good group of fans. I love the kits. because it's very AC Milan looking. Facility wise, great training facilities, which is great. Poor data, but maybe we can improve that. Good youth facilities, excellent youth recruitment. So, you know, this club's just had a bad turn. The manager's just not done a good job this year. He's done a pathetic job. So really, I can't do any worse. But what history it's got. I mean, 7 league titles, which is pretty good. 4 FA Cups. The K-League Cup, I'm guessing, I don't know what that is. The Korean President's Cup, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe these Super Cups. Is the K-League Cup something they used to have, like a League Cup in England, but they've got rid of it? We'll find out. Maybe it's at different times of the year and I've missed it. But yeah, they've got the Champions League, 3 Champions Leagues. That's pretty special, that. When you think they're the 6th best league in the world and they're competing with some big clubs in China and so on. So that's something to be proud of. But really, right now, I just need to try and keep this team in the freaking league. I mean, look, they were champions. They've been champions. I don't get it. Last year they finished 4th. Got some work to do. And yeah, I've got some work to do. I've got an assistant manager and a doctor. So this is going to be great. But then I like this. I always like to rebuild my staff. But I was going to come up with I'll come up against a few issues. Now financially, we've got 7.7 million in the bank. 3.6 to spend. I've got a little bit of wiggle room in the wages, but obviously I didn't know anything. I was coming in here now thinking, I don't know the team, I don't know what tactics to go for. I don't know what the rest of the league's like. When can I buy a player? Well, let's find out, shall we? These are the rules of the Hana 1Q K-League 1. K-League. Right then, so you want to get prize money if you're top 2. Apart from that, you don't get anything, even though it's only freaking peanuts. You win, you go into the group stage of the Champions League, you come 2nd or 3rd, you go into a playoff, and it looks like there's a relegation playoff down to the K-League 2. I think everything here is pretty much the same. Match rules though, you need 1 goalkeeper, and you can't have a foreign goalkeeper. You can't have a foreign goalkeeper in your squad. I've got one. A Brazilian. My best keeper, but I can't ever play him. I don't understand that. Did they bring him in for the Champions League? And that's all he was doing, playing Champions League football? I find that to be strange, so I'm going to have to try and sell him. But the match squad must have 2 under-22 players. It's similar to where we've just been, really, isn't it? It's quite a good rule, really. Helps promote youth. Where's the transfer windows? Right, transfer window. Thursday, January the 2nd to Monday, 24th of March. Bloody hell. And then Thursday 3rd of July to the end of July. So, right. So this is halfway point in the minute. I'm going to get a window. That's like the winter one, isn't it? That's open for a month. That's open for a couple of months. Season starts at the beginning of the year. Right, okay, fair enough. I wonder why, though. Usually, it's countries with dodgy weather. I wonder why the Koreans play like that. Obviously, I've got a squad. I don't know too much about them. We're that far in the future now anyway. They're all regions. But if I just have a quick look at some of my best players, we've got Choi Sang-joon, who's 30. He's what, my best player? Or one of. He's pretty good, to be fair. He's the kind of players I need to keep hold of. Kim Hyo-jin. Kim Hyo-jin. Love it. He's a right winger. Great. And then we've got another right back. So two out of 3 best players are right backs. Just what you need. Who's your best striker? Who's going to get me goals? 23-year-old Lee Tai-kun. I'll have that. I think he's alright. Now, this was their Champions League campaign. Obviously, they got knocked out. They had to do the playoff. And then they're in a group with Beijing, who I was the manager of last year on my Journeyman. And I won the Champions League with them. Part of the Pentagon Challenge. I did the Pentagon Challenge last year. I don't think I'll do it this year. Some of you have asked. Last year, I kind of fell into it. I can't be bothered chasing that again. Anyway, Sydney and another team I've never heard of. Now, the point being, well, the reason I've brought you here is because while I was waiting for that to load up then, I was thinking about why I thought maybe the league starts in January, but that's when the Champions League does. So it's just better to maybe have your league in line with your Champions League. It makes more sense because I've been to countries where it's not. Was it Argentina? Where you're in more of a European system, date-wise, but the Champions League set for a foreign system, if you know what I mean. So you kind of like here, there, and everywhere. So it makes more sense. Done my magic with the staff. It was, I mean, it's okay. I've a lot of them, they're not South Koreans. There's a lot of Eastern Europeans happy to come out here. I brought in 6 coaches, got a new head of youth, assistant manager. I'll show you them in a sec. What was hard though is medical. I couldn't get any medical. There's nothing in the search. So I've had to obviously put out job out there on the job centre trying to find someone. And a couple came to me actually, and they're pretty good. I can't get any sports scientists at all. I put out an advert for a job for that, and no one ever even came forward for that. Same with data analysis as well. I don't know why. They're just not interested. No one's interested in coming. So that's not the biggest loss. We've got a good coaching team, and I needed that because this team needs a kick up its freaking ass to start climbing up that league table. And to do that, I have brought in some players. Now, there's some decent players out there, and the values are very cheap in Korea, which is quite good. And I'm buying players. They're not the best players, but I was buying good squad players to fill out my team for cheap. Look, 900 grand, 63k one player. I picked up a couple of good frees that were just floating about. I've mainly gone for Koreans because I'm only allowed 4 foreign players. So then again, that's something if I stay here and once I get my first full season, I need to assess the foreigners I've got. Are they really good enough? Who can I bring in? And when you got that kind of restriction on you, you need to maximise that. If you're going to have 4 foreigners, make sure you get the best you can get. And you're not, taking away from somewhere else on the team. If you've got a great Korean striker or something, keep him. And look at your weakest parts and maybe use your foreigners to fill that out where you can't get a Korean in. Let's have a look at a couple of the better ones before showing my team as a whole. And I've picked up Choi Min Woo. He's 32 years old. He's been out here, there and everywhere. I think he was out in Europe. Last couple of years he might have been out in the Middle East, I think. But he's decent left back, centre half. I was lacking the centre, so we brought in Kim Sang-min from Incheon. I think that's how you say it. If you're Korean, I am sorry, but I'm possibly going to murder, absolutely brutalise many pronunciations. We picked up Jeong Sang-hoon. He's 30 years old, another defensive midfielder. Helps flesh out the team, and quality-wise, really good for this league. Now we're switching over here because basically after about 3 days in the job, do you know when you get a group of players coming to you saying they're not happy about something? It can be anything these days. They weren't happy about the attacking talent of the team. And obviously I've brought in a new player, Choi Min. He's my best left back, and if you look at my defence, it is solid. My goalkeeper, obviously, is Brazilian. I can't play him. So he's in the process of, I'm selling him to a load. He's getting fought over by a load of Australian teams. He's going. I've actually got a good young keeper. His name is Park Dunk Caillou, and they'd loaned him out to Sangyu. And he's on military service. So he's not even playing for them. He's actually on military service. I have never seen that in my life. Now if we go up here, look, transfer. I can't recall him because the player is undertaking military service. Did you know that's a thing on the game? I didn't. So in my defence side and the defensive midfielders I've brought in, we are solid at the back. Goalkeeper wise, got a couple of young Koreans, they're not that great. I'm hoping the defence will help them out. But if we go forward, this is my front line. Now, my striker ain't bad, you've seen him. And let's have a look at the wingers. We've got Kim Ha-yeon Jin on the right hand side. I've got Bae Jin Han on the left hand side, and these aren't world beaters, but the star ratings will do me. And then I've got a couple of people in the centre. Now this tactic is called the Pohang test. You may or may not have seen my Salford episode where I threw this tactic out there for the last game of the season, hoping it would be pretty good, because it's been good on here for me, and we lost. We got beat off Sunderland, but forget about that. I'm going with it. I like it. It's got a bit of the volcano in there from last year. It's got a bit of other tactics I've used. I've looked at other people's tactics, and that's all I do. I take pieces I like and I hope for the best. So yeah, this is the Pohang test, and we're just going to test it out for the remainder of the season, see how well it can do. Now then, obviously I've just put my coaching team together and my scouting team together. My scouting team ain't too bad. I'd like to make it bigger, but this is my default shortlist, and I've cleared it out of all the crap that I've been searching for, really, because anything specific I've saved in a separate shortlist. And this is South Korea. Big time players don't want to come here, really. They don't. So what I'm doing is I'm going to spend the rest of the season in preparation for next year just scouting Korea. See what talent's in this country. What talent can I realistically get? Now then, we're here on the vision page, and they're not judging me on these two because they're nothing to do with me. Already out the cup, already out the Champions League. But I'm pretty sure they wanted to challenge for a title, and I think they're surprised where they are. And they said to me when I came in, they just want me to avoid relegation. That's it. Then they want us to work towards being the best of the rest. Then in 2 years, become recognised as best of the rest. And then in 3 years, challenge for the title. I'm up here to challenge for the title in a year or 2. Now then, this is the rest of the season, so there's not tons of games left, although there will be, depending, right? But this was the last game. The final straw for the manager, he got the sack, and look at his form there. Look, he's running the league there. Appalling, man. It's no wonder he's been sacked. So then, I don't know if other teams do it, but we had like just over a month, I'd say 5 weeks. 5-week gap there. So I made 4 friendlies. We went on a little tour to Japan, played 4 average Japanese teams just to get the tactic going, get to see some of the players, see how it works. But back to the rules, the season splits. So there is like a Group A, Group B. And if you get in a Group A, that is like fighting at the top. But if we go back to the table, you'll see we're on 19 points. We're 4 points away from relegation. I think that's a playoff. I'm pretty sure the bottom team will get relegated and the team in 11th might be in a relegation playoff with teams from the division below. But we're only 10 points away. 7 points. And we just need to get up here to get in that Champions group. That's the aim. Now we're going to jump back in here. It's the 16th of September. We're in here for a few reasons. The first one is, this is my continued advert for sports scientists. And just no one's interested. No one comes forward. No one in the search. If you do a manual search, you can go anywhere in the world and look at the staff and try and poach one. No one will come. Even at crapper teams. I don't know why. It's not happening. So you can't get a sports scientist, which I find very, very strange. No one wants to come to South Korea, even though it's a great place to live. This is the home of K-pop. And I have no idea what that was. Do you know what? I didn't know what K-pop was. It's Korean pop, in it. Manufactured pop. It's massive. There's millions of groups. I was watching James Corden's Carpool Karaoke, and I was like, who the fuck are these? And I saw them, and I just did a bit of research into it and realised it's this massive phenomenon that if I was maybe 25 years younger, I'd know about. Showed my age. So, anyway, September is the time for your youth intake, and we have got a decent player-ish. Hwang Min-wook. Hwang Min-wook. Yeah, alright, innit? Striker, 16 years old. And I'm also making progress in the league. I'm now 6 with 42 points. Kind of tells you how it's been going, that, doesn't it, really? It's been awesome. Now, I haven't lost a game, which is great. From my friendlies all the way through, we've drawn 2 games against 2 decent teams. But we've beat others that I was well happy with. Now, I didn't know. I've added some players. The squad's quite good, I think, compared to what I've seen in other squads. I've got the best staff. That all helps. But I just think we're steamrolling teams. And I didn't know if it was a tactic. And I mentioned this in my Salford series when I chose to use this tactic for that final game, which we lost. I don't know if it translates to other leagues, or is it even the tactic? I'm not 100% sure, but I can't grumble. We're winning lots of games. We're getting lots of points. We're climbing up that league. And also, you'll see here, you finish at end of August, and then you have a break to the end of September. You get another month off around here. So before we get to the end of the league, it's not the finished season. Let's see if we've got into that group stage. I just wanted to share with you one game and show you some goals. And it's a great game because this is a team that were flying high at the top of the league. They were 8 points clear when I took over, weren't they? On 48 points. So this was a great test, really, to go to their place away. Win 3-1. I'm starting to get to know at this point some of my players. And I believe, like I said, I don't know if this tactic would translate to the Premier League or even the bloody Championship or whatever, or any other European leagues. But for now, I quite like it. I like how it plays. We look like an absolute beast of a team. So I'm sticking with it, and I'm going to try and build my squad around it going forward. So yeah, this is a great victory. 3 goals, brilliant. And we finished the regular season in 5th with 52 points. Awesome. Still haven't been beat. So what we're in there, 52 points. We are, at this point now, only 4 points off a Champions League spot. Now, we were only 10 at the start. I was only 10 points away. Now we are, what? Not a lot, is it? That is something we could do, especially if we just keep on winning. Now, jump back in time to the beginning of the season when I'd just taken charge, because I just want to compare. Let's see how much of an improvement we've made coming in. So, defensively, we're the 6th best defence, maybe the 4th. but we're the 6th best defence. Going forward, we were struggling, and you can see why they came to me and said we need to improve ourselves going forward as a team and with playing personnel. So how much of an improvement did I make? Well, defensively, massive. We've hardly let any goals in, to be fair. We now got the 2nd best defence in the league. And this made me chuff when I realised this. The 3rd best attack from the 11th best attack. So yeah, we definitely improved ourselves going forward, but we're always on the back foot. If I'd have been here from the start with this tactic, I think we'd have done well in the Champions League, and I'd probably be winning the league by about 20 freaking million points. And the club have allowed me to improve the facilities, so we're now improving the youth and the training facilities. And they're already pretty good as it is. So I know I say this all the time, but this is what excites me. This is what gets me buzzing to play the game. Now this is my main striker, and I quite like him. I've given out a few new contracts to a few players, and he's one of the guys I want to keep because I don't know why he was struggling at the start, but he's done pretty well for me. He's not, you know, look at his marking, his tackling, absolutely appalling. But you've just got to look at key attributes when you're at low levels for specific roles. Like a striker, I would look at finishing. Off the ball and composure, and then I go on to speed, and then I go on to other things like technique. And like I said, I've been scouting. I'm doing some of them again. I'm trying to get full maximum knowledge on him. But yeah, all Korean. Just trying to get as much knowledge on this country as I can to start the new season. So then, shall we jump forward? Let's see if I can nick a bloody 3rd spot. I just wanted to keep this club alive. I didn't think it was going to be, you know, we're going to be this dominant, but we're good. And I think if we keep on going as we're going, you better start watching the backs because we want that 3rd spot. Well then, how did that group stage go? Well, you play everyone once, and we came up against Nam, who I think they beat on us. Didn't they beat us, and that's what got the manager sacked? They definitely beat them early in the season before I was here. Then we beat them at their place, and then we've gone back again for a 3rd time in the group stage. We beat them again 1-0. We then beat Jeonbuk 3-1. Then Suwon 3-2. Now I don't know what's the toss-up. When you're playing each other once, how does it decide who's at home and who's away? I don't know. Good advantage though. Great victory. Next up was these chaps, Jeongnam. Maybe that's it. Beat these 3-0. Come on. It's getting a bit easy. And last but not least, the capital city team, Seoul. I always remember the Seoul Olympics when I was a kid. We beat them 2-1 as well. And I'm loving this tactic. It's not 100% perfect. Like I said, I think I might need to test it on more stuff to see what it's like. So maybe I'm just fluking it with the players suiting it, or maybe it's just I could have any tactic and we do well. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm not, you know, it is what it is. I can only beat them, whoever you put in front of me, and we've beaten everyone pretty much. I ain't lost a game, and from being just above the relegation zone on 19 points, I finished the season with 67 points, 2nd. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you get 2nd or 3rd in this league. You've got going through the playoffs. So, hopefully, next year, I'm going to stick with this tactic. We can improve the squad, make it even better. Go on a good title run, seeing I was only 3 points short of it. That's crazy. And do well in the Champions League now we're in it. Didn't think that'd be the case at the start. But I'm very happy where we are. And I can't wait for the next season. This is the final squad, and I've got some good players that I'm going to build it around. I've got my pad over there waiting to get writing these names down, although it's not like they're hard to remember because they're so similar. Do you know what I mean? How many Kims are in the team? It's very hard. I've got a couple of players leaving, that's fine, on freeze and so on. And this is where I thrive. I just can't wait to get stuck into it, really. And a nice little touch there. Unbeatable Pohang set new record. 18 games. 18 games unbeaten. Fantastic, really. But next year will be different. I think the league will start to get a bit better. I think everyone's going to win the game. Hopefully everyone improves the squad, and hopefully a few teams start to break away and become the best team. So I want more of a challenge, but I also hopefully want to win trophies next year. Why not? Let's go for everything. Domestic, double it. Domestic, double it. No one could beat us this year, and I reckon I can improve this team, improve the staff, and go for a Champions League. Why not? But to do it, we're really going to have to get to the top, and it looks like the Chinese and the Saudi Arabians have got the best teams. They're the teams that seem to be getting to the final on the game these days. So it's going to be some ask. I'm going to have to build a good team, but anything's possible. So whether that is the end of the episode, hopefully you enjoyed the move and the episode itself. Enough to smash the like button and come back for the next one. Please come back. Can't wait to share with you the next season. I haven't even started it yet. I need to get on that because it's going to be out on the weekend, so I need to get playing really. But I've got a lot of content coming out this week, hopefully. I've got a bit of time on my hands, so there might only be one day where there's no videos. Definitely going to be another Palermo this week. Definitely probably will be at the end of the week another Salford. So yeah, thank you as always for your support. Let me know what you think down below. Hopefully I might have inspired you to not only do a Journeyman, but maybe even go to South Korea yourself. I think this league might be fun next year, and I can't wait to get stuck into the Champions League. I'm buzzing with that. Buzzing with it because I didn't think I would. So anyway, thank you as always for taking time out of your busy day. I hope you're happy, well and safe, you and your family. So for me and my family, I wish you all the best. I'm Bood. I'll see you next time.